And this is why I never buy the first year of a major model change. Happy Sunday, monkeys. Playing with a new mount I got that's going to be kind of fun for y'all, me and y'all later. I got a mount for my golf cart for the GoPro, which is the least manly thing I've ever said. But probably not least, but one of the least manly things I've ever said. So anyway, this thing mounts to the frame now. So as I roll through the chip in a couple months, I'll be able to point forward. Woo, how exciting is that? And you'll be able to see the not debauchery. Let's be honest, the chip's pretty tame these days compared to Glencoe and other places. But I'll have some videos from there. But I wanted to talk about an update on my 2021 Ultra Limited journey that I've had now for a week. So let me take this thing off of there and I'll be right back to show you some wonderful things I've learned. Always hold things by your ball mount. Anyway, so I'm gonna try and do this weird little thing today. So I when I bought this bike last week, I've put 237 miles on it since I got it. It's great. It's not a huge change in the way the bike rides or feels. There's no major changes there, but some little things have created some sort of pain in the ass situations. I was able to change the windshield. I got my what is that, an 8.5 inch Clockworks flare thing. That was fine. Of course, the windshield's the same. The mirrors came off my CVO. That's fine. You know, no major things. This clutch cable deal that they changed to a clutch cable is creating short-term issues. So I went up to my dealer. In the deal when I bought the bike, I put in chrome front end and my bars. I run 14 Carlinis, as you can see there, on my CVO, and I was going to put 14 KSTs on this Limited. The reason why is, according to my dude there, who I trust, and his experience with these heated grips, that yes, I live in Florida, but I've used them twice in the last week in the 50s. It was cold and rainy, and hey, they were nice, man, so I'm not going to take them off. He said the KSTs will fit the heated grips, and the Yaffes, which is really what I wanted, they don't. They're too tight. Something, anyway, there's an oddity there where the KST bars work with limited heated grips much easier or better. So bars are in and all that stuff. So I go in yesterday morning, and this looks like holy hell, but because of my wife. But chrome front end's done. You see there. It makes a huge difference on the bike. It's like $600 in parts, and it is a decent amount of labor. I think it took them 3 hours or so to do all that. So I mean, it's a nice upgrade. You know, it's the whole front end. Again, I think the parts are like $590 something. So it'll end up running you about $1,000 to convert your front end to chrome from the stock clear coated aluminum, I think they are. And I'll show you why. This old gray Heritage has stuff stacked on it. I feel bad. This old gray Heritage is a 14 that I bought new for my dad, that he rode for a while he could still do 2 wheels, and then as his health wasn't as good, it was time for him to go 3 wheels, so he did get a trike a few years ago. So this bike I never ride it because it's little for me, and I have baggers, so I don't ride it. But here's the reason why you do the chrome forks. This bike has like 13,000 miles on it, right? Because it hasn't been ridden in years, but regularly anyway. So this is why you do the chrome forks. You can see right there that what happens is a bug smacks on the fork, and if they aren't cleaned quickly enough, the acid in their guts eats the clear coat, which is it's a bitch. You can, of course, just sand off the clear and polish the forks, but they pit immediately, and it's a pain in the ass. So I do it as a practical matter. Living down here in Florida, when you're riding through love bugs and bad weather and salt air and da-da-da-da-da, I do chrome forks almost immediately because they wear. This is going to look the same at 50,000 miles. It'll look the same. So for me, it's more of a practical thing too. So it's a grand well spent. You're going to do it eventually, so just do it right on the front end. The problem we ran into, disappointment, is when I was up there sitting on my ass, waiting forever for all the stuff to get done, my dude comes out and says, can't do the bars. Quick note, I have done apes myself several times. I've done it to several fat boys. I did it to my 95 Heritage Nostalgia. Always Softails for whatever reason. No, I did do it to a dyno once too. So, I mean, I've done the whole, new clutch cable, new brake line, extend the wiring, snake them through, use the guitar string, the whole deal. I've done it several times, but when it comes to these baggers, the first time I didn't do it on the CBO because they just said they would do it. As I'm negotiating the deal, they say, oh, we'll move your bars over from your old 18 and, for free. So that's the first time I had someone else do it. And then when it came to this guy, I'm like, you know what? I just don't want to take the damn fairing apart on a brand new bike. I'm just not going to do it. If it were a Softail, I'd do it. Screw that. I'm too old and cranky anymore. So anyway, the dude comes out and says, we got a problem. And this is something neither one of us ever thought of. This guy's very smart, named Patrick at Alligator Alley Harley. I trust him. He was like, he's not going to think of it. He goes, I ordered your cable kit and it has hydraulic lines. Because, if you were going into a dealer on a 20 or earlier bagger and said, I'm going to put bars on it, bam, there you go. There's your hydraulic clutch. And you would need a hydraulic line to go from your clutch down to the slave and whatnot. This is a cable. So the 20 cable kit doesn't work. You have to have a 21, which will be a longer clutch cable and the brake lines and stuff. Not the end of the world, because a clutch cable, unless they change the fittings, which I'm looking at the transmission, and that to me looks like every 6-speed clutch cable I've ever changed out. I don't think they've changed anything other than that. But you know the correct length. So you could still order, pieces and parts and do your brake lines one and then order a clutch cable that's the right length. So he's going to have to figure that out. But yeah, so there's another halt in the whole deal. Can't get my bars on until they have a clutch cable long enough. The good thing it does do is that what Patrick had on hand that we were just going to use was a black cable, so I got to order stainless. But anyway, so there's a problem there. The one good thing, and I'll share the link down below, I was able to do two things. Actually, it was two things I was able to do while I was there yesterday that I mentioned earlier, is that I went in, and I don't know if you've seen the new Street Glide and Roglide specials for 21, but they have a very nostalgic bar and shield emblem on the tank. I was able to order those. So these here, they're not bad. I'm not saying they're it's just they're not much to them. It's kind of a boring, emblem on there. And so I'm going to switch it out to that bar and shield. And I was able to order them because it's not a VIN protected. I think a guy called it a VIN protected part, which is, it's just anyone can order that. So you could do that and it'll fit any bike. So if you like that new bar and shield that came on the new specials, they're $64 a piece. You can walk right in and they can order them for you. Just measure them up, pull them off. Make sure you measure them up. I say that because I've changed emblems on my tanks a lot over the years. And I see this one right, measuring your distance down, from your gas inlet and from the neck forward. And then you come around to the other side of the bike and the emblem's up here because they're not following distances. They're just like eyeballing it. Don't eyeball your tank emblems. You're going to look special. Measure them down from your gas. Pick an identifier. For this bike, I would go, distance from here to there is where it should start, and distance from there to there. And just, it's not rocket science, but don't eyeball it. The other thing is the connection cable for the Screaming Eagle tuner is out now. The part number is, so I was able to order that. That's like $39. So we're getting there slowly, but it's frustrating. I don't like to screw with things. I like to get the bike, set it the way I want it, and then just ride the piss out of it. And it's just frustrating to me that it's going to be, a month or two before all this shit's done, and I get to just abusing it. Looks like the wife will not be going to Sturgis, maybe. Don't know. So that's some things come up that she may not be able to go away in August. So we'll see there. But so then I got the painful decision of what bike am I going to take for myself? Am I going to take the Ultra? Or am I going to take the CVO Roglide? What a terrible situation to be in, right? I know, my first world problems and all that, but I'll figure that out. One last thing before I shut up and let y'all go is the Backrest Pad Odor came in. So that is the stock seat off of my CVO. These little spots. It was sitting on a shelf and something was sitting on it, an old seat I had, and the like rubber feet were sitting on it. They're coming out slowly, but it's a pain in the butt. So this is the stock seat off of my Roglide, and I was able to order the matching CVO backrest pad, which has the same red stitch. So that's pretty cool. I think it looks great. I like it a lot. It doesn't look, to me, it doesn't look ridiculous. Like, I don't know, I think it kind of works. And this was like $350, which was stupid because I then found it on, I ordered it and then found it online for $50 less, like 10 minutes later. I'm not gonna talk about that. So that's it. That's all I got. I'll update y'all as the cable comes in. I'm gonna do a video on tuning it because I've done it, you know, fuel pack 3s and stuff like that in the past. And what is it? Cobras used to have. I've done that for a friend before. I've done several of these tuners. I've never used Harley's tuner, which is, I'm sure, just as mindless and useless as the others. But I'll do a video on that because we'll see how it goes. All I'm gonna do is throw on my my heavy breather when that, you know, that I have sitting there. I'm gonna throw on the heavy breather and then throw on that tuner, and I'll be done for a bit. And then from there, I gotta figure out exhaust. I'd love your input on what looks good on an Ultra. I'm thinking an S&S Sidewinder 2-into-1 because I don't have the stretched rear end because it's an Ultra. It'll be fine with one pipe on one side. I'm not a fan, personally, of the dudes who buy specials with the pipe cutouts and then put a 2-into-1 on it and just leave the one side empty. So to imagine that, I see it. Imagine that bike with a pipe just on the right side and the left side is just a big void. Like I just, that drives me insane. But I would do it on that guy because it's not stretched. So what pipe would you do? If not, I might just get another Fuel Moto Jackpot, which is kind of a hidden pipe that goes under, I've said this a million times, I apologize, but it goes under the stock heat shields, which is what's on this guy. So those are the factory stock heat shields, but Fuel Moto's Jackpot head pipe is under there, and then use the stock crossover. So it's like $350 or something for the pipe because you're just getting a pipe. You're using a stock crossover, the mufflers you already have, and the stock heat shield, so it's not, you know, that expensive. I use stock O2 sensors and all that stuff. So either I'm going to do that or 2-into-1. I'm interested in your feedback, thoughts, inputs, whatnot. So let me know what questions you have about the chrome front end deal or the badges or the whatnot. You know, we're getting there slowly. So see y'all later. Bye.